While you're doing what you know how to do best, while you're just there doing your normal thing, some persons may be drawing strength from what you say. Some persons may be getting motivated by the things you do, and you're just there on your own doing these things, not knowing that you're someone's source of inspiration. Guys, I've seen your messages, I've picked some calls, I've replied to some comments. I really do know that I replied to some comments. I've seen everybody's comments and I don't know what to say. This past 48 hours has been a terrible one for me. I'm sorry to use that word terrible because I don't really know which word to use. YouTube sometimes can be so frustrating. YouTube sometimes can just burn you out and you just want to quit everything and all of that. Now, before I even go ahead to tell you guys why I am making this video, let me tell you guys how I started, because I know that most of us do not really know me, most especially those who just came across my channel, this particular channel. You didn't follow me from my entertainment channel to my other YouTube growth channel down to this other one and all of that. Now, this was what happened in February 2024. I used to write on Amazon. I'm a self-publisher. I used to write and publish on Amazon KDP. So if you're very familiar with Amazon KDP, then you will agree with me that you have to be on the platform for like 60 days after you must have started earning before you can make your first withdrawal. So luckily for me, 2 weeks after I started writing and publishing with just one book, I was able to make my first sales. And then we already had like so many persons, more than 20 persons in the class who had over 20 books, but they never made any sale. So when I came 2 weeks, I published a book or two, and I made my sales. So I was still writing, trying to publish and all of that. 2 days to the day I was supposed to get my first withdrawal from Amazon KDP. That was when my account got terminated. I was so frustrated. I didn't know what to do at that point. Like, I thought of starting afresh, but if you know Amazon KDP too well, the stress of writing, checking for plagiarism, the stress of editing and all of that, formatting your work, getting images and all of that stress alone. Like, if you want to write a quality book, you know that it's gonna cost you like 3 to 4 days. In fact, some persons a week. Some persons, I've seen some persons who have written a book, just one book in 1 month. But this is me, at least in a month, I could always boast of 4 books, 4 to 5 books. So I got so devastated, and all thanks to one man I follow on Facebook. So when I went on Facebook, he was just talking about how one can make money online. So at that point, he mentioned TikTok. So I was like, so TikTok, one can make money on TikTok. At that point, I was on like, okay, just TikTok, right? I moved over to my Play Store immediately. I downloaded TikTok. I didn't understand the app. That was my first time on the platform. I was just scrolling through. I met a particular woman who was teaching about TikTok itself. So guys, I'm heading somewhere. I want you to follow me closely. I'm not gonna edit this video. So I listened to her. Later on, I requested to join her panel, of which she accepted me. It wasn't too long. Someone came from nowhere and was like, oh, she just wanna bless us. This guy gave us 2,000 coins on TikTok. So at the end of the live stream, I checked my balance and I saw about $10. At that point, I was like, so TikTok truly pays. I was super excited. I withdrew the money, used it to get some food stuff and all of that. I was not like, wow. So it literally means that I need to put in more effort. So when I got back to the woman's panel and all of that, she was like, we need to subscribe and all of that. Now, if you know TikTok too well, you know that subscription on TikTok is not free. So because subscription on TikTok is not free, and me, I was really, really in need of money. That was when I started my program newly. So I really needed money. And unfortunately for me, that was the same period that my school increased school fee. They increased school fee by 50%. That was huge. You understand? So it's not as if I didn't have some resources for this. I had, but that hike in everything changed my budget. I just needed an extra source of income and all of that. And if you're in Nigeria, you know that so at that point I just needed more money. Not just more money, I needed something that was gonna pay me in another currency, hard currency to be precise. So at that point, the lady was like, "We need to subscribe and all of that." And me, I didn't even have enough money. So I was like, "I'm sorry, I cannot even subscribe at this point." So at that point, she was like, "Only your subscribers." I was like, "Fine." As I then I had like 800 subscribers because I was moving from box to box, box to box. People were following me, I was following them back and all of that. So it got to a stage I was not like, I don't understand. This woman is not letting me in and all of that. Let me just go and start up my own. So I got there, I put on my camera, I was able to get my 1000 followers real quick because on TikTok you need 1000 followers for you to go live. So I was able to get that real quick. I went live for 2 hours, nobody joined. 3 hours, nobody joined. At some point I got so frustrated. I began to cry on live camera, ended the live stream, went back to the woman's live stream. She was like, no, she's not gonna accept that. You need to subscribe and all of that. So I was not like, I didn't even have enough money. I would have loved to subscribe, but at this time, subscription I think is not really my priority at this moment. So at that point, I kept scrolling. So when I kept scrolling, I met another lady who was actually talking about TikTok. So I stayed there. I didn't request to enter her box so she wouldn't tell us to subscribe and all of that. So I was just there in the comment section, listening to the teachings and all of that. And all of a sudden, she talked about analytics. So immediately she talked about analytics, I was not like, oh, is that why I am not always having people join my live stream? Good. If analytics is a problem, fine. So after her live stream, I went and checked my analytics. Then I realized that a good number of my audience are always active on TikTok in the evening around 6, 7, 8 p.m. So that was a period I started going live. Started going live in the evening. Before you know it, people were joining gradually. As they were joining, they were asking questions. They were asking me how I got to go live, how I got to set up my live stream, how I got to do this and all of that. So in the process of me talking to one person, another joined. In the process of me talking to the second person, another joined. Questions kept coming. But you know what? Sometimes people came with questions that I didn't even have an idea. And at that point, I couldn't even tell them that I do not have an idea. So I just told them to come back the following day, that was going to be our topic. So after the live stream, I would just move ahead and make my research, write things down. Next day, I'll come back stronger, then teach as though I am an authority when it has to do with that. So I continued that way. At some point, I was not like, okay, Lioness, I think it is time to diversify. So I started talking about Amazon KDP. I noticed that some persons were interested. So because they were interested, I went and recreated the courses. Now I was selling it to people. Some I sold it to some persons 20,000. I sold it to some persons 10,000, and some persons were also gifting me. Once they come to my panel, I was able to answer their questions. Of course, they will always want to support my life goal and all of that. So it continued like that for 3 months, 6 months, and in 3 months I was able to make half a million, just like that. In 3 months, I was able to make half a million from TikTok. Like, I know that there are people who have made more than this in a day. There are persons who have made more than this in a week. But you know what? This was me who did not know anything about TikTok. So I kept doing it that way until one person came to my live stream and was like, she was like, she loves what I do. But the thing is that she feels I'm doing it on the wrong platform, that TikTok will not even pay me for creating content and all of that. That why can't I go on YouTube? The way I come on TikTok streaming all the time, why can't I channel that energy into YouTube? That at least if I can be going live consistently like this on YouTube, I'll gather watch time, people will give to me. At the end of the day, I'll end up monetizing and all of that. So I didn't really fancy what she said because I didn't really know much about YouTube. So after like 6 months, things were not really working out the way they used to be. People were not really gifting the way they used to. Probably because TikTok increased prices of coins as at then. So things were not really moving on fine and all of that. In fact, to get $50 was not as easy as it used to be. At that point, I was like, I think what that lady said to me is true. Let me see if I can leverage on YouTube. So that's how I came on YouTube. I started without a coach. I went through everything I went through, of which I am grateful to God for. Because if I never went through all those things, probably today I wouldn't even have what to use and teach people, because I teach from my mistakes, I teach from experience and all of that. Now let's fast forward everything. I made a video a few days ago telling you guys I was gonna quit. I meant it. I meant it. Like the thing is this, sometimes YouTube can be so overwhelming. Sometimes YouTube can be very unpredictable. Sometimes YouTube can just show you shaggy, and to a very large extent you wouldn't even want to do the things you so much have passion for. If you know me too well, you know that YouTube is a calling to me. Like I love YouTube. You understand? If I never loved YouTube, if I'm not saying YouTube as a calling, after everything I've been through on YouTube, I don't think I will still be here. You understand? After everything I have personally been through. So I've seen your messages, I've seen your calls, I picked some I've replied to your messages, I replied to almost everybody's comment. If I'm yet to reply to your comment, just know that I will. Seriously. Now I've gone through the comments, I've gone through some messages in my DM. I think two or three really got me so emotional. So please, I'm so sorry if I get to attach your message to this video. Just know that I'm gonna blow your name, then I'm also gonna blow your phone number. Guys, thank you so much. I'm not quitting any longer. It's not as if I don't want to quit, but the messages I got, I think I should just do it because of my community members. Let me just do YouTube. At this point, I'm just doing YouTube for people I have been inspiring. I'm doing YouTube at this point because of people who so much trust me, because of people who so much rely on me. You understand? So if it's, I don't know. I don't know if I should. I don't know what to say at this point, but guys, just trust me. Left for me, I won't be here anymore. Left for me, I won't be here anymore. I think I would even prefer to leverage on other social media platforms, maybe Bigo, because my friends on Bigo are already telling me that they are doing massively well over there. I had just zeroed my mind. I had already concluded in my mind that I am not doing again. I'm gonna leverage on other social media platforms. Now I've not even told you guys that I've been on Popo before. Then after my first withdrawal, I left. Probably I would have gone back to Popo. Seriously, that's just it. So guys, expect content from me. Today is Saturday, right? Okay, expect content from me. If I do not upload on or before 1st of next month, just know that I've stood my ground. But if I should, then you should know that I'm willing to come back. I'm coming back this time around, not because I really want to. I'm coming back this time around for those persons who really care about me. Like, I was just doing my thing. I never knew that I was inspiring people out there. Thank you for reaching out. Thank you for choosing me, because I'm not even the best content creator. I am not. There are people who are doing very, very well, even better than myself, but you choose to listen to me. And it won't be because of views, chasing watch time, chasing revenue, and all of that. I will now dilute my content. No, I'm still gonna give you that undiluted content. I'm not gonna play down on anything. I'm not gonna play down on quality. I'm not gonna play down on anything. Just expect me to keep doing what I love doing best. So I don't know what to say. I don't even know if this video is making sense at all. Thank you so much, guys. See you guys in my next video, and bye for now.